Hi, my name is Ronya, and I'm a part of the MECFS team at Arthritis, Pain Support, and Emerge ACT. Welcome to our series of videos for family and friends of people living with debilitating fatigue conditions. This series is adapted from our booklet called Information for Family and Friends of People with MECFS, Fibromyalgia, Long COVID, and Other Conditions with Debilitating Fatigue, which is available in print and on our website. This video is about dealing with stress and long-term illness and the impact that weather and sensory overload can have on the debilitating fatigue condition, as well as information about commonly co-occurring medical problems. Stress is a challenge for everyone, but it's especially difficult for people with long-term illness and those around them. Illness adds new stresses to those that all families face, and unlike crises, these stresses are ongoing. There is an additional source of stress, one that is inherent in the person's illness. Most debilitating fatigue conditions are very stress-sensitive illnesses, meaning they reset the person's stress thermostat so that the effects of a given level of stress are greater than they would be for a healthy person. This combination of additional stresses and increased vulnerability creates a double challenge for people with debilitating fatigue conditions. Stress is multiplied while they are made more vulnerable to the effects of stress. Being supportive of a person's efforts to control stress, along with helping a person to live within the limits imposed by illness, are two of the most helpful things family and friends can do to promote their quality of life. Pacing is one effective way to control stress. Pacing techniques include keeping activity level within a person's limits, taking daily rests, using routine, scheduling activity based on priorities, and timing activity for the best hours of the day. Other stress reduction approaches can include decluttering, so for example, reorganizing the kitchen or discarding unused possessions, limiting exposure to media, limiting contact with some people, avoiding crowds, and making mental adjustments, such as letting go of outdated expectations. For many people, work is a major stressor, usually because of the demands of a job are greater than someone's energy envelope. Some people have responded by changing their work situation. These changes have included switching from full-time to part-time work, moving to a less demanding job, working from home, adopting a flexible schedule, and leaving the workforce, usually through early retirement. Light, noise, and crowds create stress for many people. Avoiding those situations or limiting the period of exposure can help them control symptoms. Many people are selective about their exposure to screens, avoiding material that is emotionally arousing and shows with rapid scene changes. Novelty can unfortunately be another source of stress. It takes more energy to respond to a new situation than it does to something familiar. One response is to make life predictable. Some people have done that through routine, living their lives according to a schedule. They have been able to reduce the surprises and emotional shocks in their lives and therefore reduce their stress. A factor that can affect people with a debilitating fatigue condition is weather. Changes in the weather or types of weather can affect people's symptom levels. Probably the most common reaction for people with fibromyalgia is more intense symptoms during times of high humidity. The best family coping strategy is to accept that the person might suffer more and do less during times of change in humidity, atmospheric pressure, different seasons, and changes in temperature. Mentioned earlier, most people are sensitive to noise or light or to sensory input coming from more than one source at a time. The most helpful response is to tailor sensory input to the person's limits. This will often mean limiting sensory information to one type at a time, so for example, talking without any background noise. It may also mean socializing with only one or a very small number of people rather than in large groups, and visiting restaurants and other public places in off-peak hours. Managing symptoms is complicated by the fact that people with a debilitating fatigue condition often have one or more additional medical problems. This might include gastrointestinal issues, allergies or sensitivities, other pain disorders, issues with blood pressure or heart rate control, mood disorders such as anxiety and depression, and sleep disorders such as sleep apnea and restless leg syndrome. Many people with a debilitating fatigue condition have food sensitivities or food allergies. Negative reactions might include symptoms such as heartburn, gas, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, as well as other symptoms such as headaches, muscle pain, changes in pulse, and fatigue. Some common sources of food allergy include dairy products, eggs, soy, wheat, and corn. Often, the solution is to eliminate a food or a food group from the diet. Sometimes the diet is restricted to a limited number of foods. This should always be done under supervision from a doctor or a dietitian. That's all for this video. The next video in the series is about the impact debilitating fatigue can have on your relationship and some strategies for managing relationship stress and long-term illness. If you or the person living with debilitating fatigue need further support, we are here to help. We have a range of services to support people with chronic conditions. You can contact us at mecfs@arthritisact.org.au or call 0262512055, or you can find further free resources on our website at www.emergeact.org.au.